LA has lost since 2019 over 1,000 police officers who have either retired or left, right? So they're down 10%. This is against the backdrop of a spike in homelessness in LA, a spike in crime in LA. And by the way, ladies and gentlemen, 30% of all homeless in this country are in California. So Governor Newsom, I hope you're running for president, because you should run based on your record in California.
Oh my God.
But as far as concern with law enforcement having too much power, the pendulum goes both ways. But right now, the police are not allowed to do their job. And their job, right? They're law enforcement. Their job is to enforce the laws, right? So whether it's laws on the border, but you have the federal government who is intervening for political reasons against a governor, against state laws. You have law enforcement, and then you brought up the courts, right? So the government is now using the courts. And I find this to be incredulous to me, because on the one hand, you have the Biden administration and the liberals basically saying, don't trust the Supreme Court, overrule the Supreme Court, expand the court. But, right? I mean, am I missing something?
Yep. Nope. Yep.
Right? So they're saying expand the court, all that other stuff. So they're saying, it's incredible to me that what they're really doing. And yet they're using the courts as they see fit. Yet there's this whole concept now called popular constitutionalism. And basically, it's been around for a while, but there's a Harvard professor, so he must be right.
Oh, Harvard.
And his name is Mark Tushnet. Now, if this were a comedy show, I could really do a riff on the name, but, because, Jewish tush, all that stuff. But, he certainly seems like he's an ass based on what he's putting forward. But that's a different discussion. But basically, they're saying, right, because we're going back to the whole court things, is they're basically saying that and they're calling it now a MAGA Supreme Court, right? So they're trying to wait a minute. So you're trying to delegitimize the courts by saying that because of their mistaken interpretation, and we need to restore democracy. And their argument is that according to the Constitution, the courts do not have exclusive authority to interpret the Constitution.
What?
How do you like them out?
What?
That's the argument. Look up popular constitutionalism and look up, Mark Tushner.
Then who does?
Who's a Harvard professor. The Constitution is pretty clear. Folks, if you go to Article 3 of the Constitution, right, and I can read it for you, since I prepared for this, right? Article 3, Section 2, Clause 1 says the following. The judicial power shall extend to all cases, note the word all, in law and equity. So they already knew we were going to devolve into diversity, equity, and inclusion. The judicial power shall extend to all cases in law and equity arising under this Constitution. I mean, what part of that don't you understand, ladies and gentlemen?
They don't care. First of all, they don't care what the words say. They don't care what the words mean. Right. If they're not getting their way, it's whatever it is illegitimate, right? Like that is going to be, that is just like all of the candidates or all these people went from being anti-vaccine to pro-vaccine when it could benefit them and they could control people. So they're going to be pro-constitution and pro-law enforcement when they control it. Just like they demonize law enforcement and demonize police and say that they're all a bunch of racist, sexist, homophobes, every istophobe there is in the book, until you have January 6th happen. And then, our poor law enforcement, look at how mean people were to them. Like, dude, you do not care about these people.
Wait. Are you talking about the FBI plants in the January 6th crowd, or are you talking about the regular law enforcement?
All of it. They don't.
Sorry, I had to put that in
there.
No,
it's true though. That's the thing, is they don't care. They just lie and make stuff up so they can lather up their base to go out and spread more hatred and division.